You might not think about it often, but just how much of your business is being quietly shaped by the data center choices you've made. Because in 2026, it's no longer just a question of where your servers are located. It's about the consistency of your performance, the speed your applications deliver, and whether your infrastructure can keep up as your business begins to grow. Colocation has increasingly become that practical middle ground many businesses are turning to. You retain full control over your infrastructure, but you're operating within an environment that's purpose-built for reliability, security, and high-performance connectivity. And when you take a closer look, it becomes clear quite quickly that not every colocation provider delivers the same level of capability. Hi, I'm Nick Prosser with Data Center Hunter, and today we're looking at the top 5 colocation providers for 2026 and how to choose the right one for your business. But before we get started, I'd like to ask for your help. Can you help me by subscribing to our channel? It's absolutely free, and it helps us grow our audience so that more viewers just like you can find the information they are looking for about data center services and solutions. As you know, this landscape can be very confusing at times, so my goal is to help simplify this technology and the selection process for as many viewers as possible. Starting at number 1, we have Equinix, and this is where most conversations around colocation usually begin, because Equinix has positioned itself as more than just a data center provider. It's really an interconnection platform. With over 260 data centers across more than 70 markets globally, the scale is already there. But what really sets Equinix apart is the ecosystem inside those facilities. You're not just co-locating infrastructure, you're placing your systems in direct proximity to cloud providers, networks, SaaS platforms, and partners. That changes things, because instead of routing traffic across long distances, you can create direct, low latency connections. And for businesses relying on hybrid cloud, real-time applications, or global users, that becomes a competitive advantage. And the way I'd simplify Equinix is this: it's not about space, it's about access. And if connectivity is important for your business, it's definitely one of the best options to look at. Hey, before we move on, I'm assuming the reason you're watching this video is because you're searching for data center and colocation services. I want to remind you about our free consulting service to help you figure out which solutions on the market are best for you. We represent all the major data center service providers in the USA, and we're paid by referrals only, so our consulting service is absolutely free. If you'd like my help, all you have to do is visit our website at www.datacenterhunter.com, where you can request help from my team and I on our Contact Us page. Filling out the form is simple and just takes a couple of minutes. So, if you're looking for data center services for your business, we can help. A link to our website is also in the description below this video. Now moving on to number 2, digital realty. And this is where you start to see a different angle, because digital realty is all about scale and consistency. With a network of more than 300 data centers around the world, digital realty is set up to handle everything from one site to a fully distributed global infrastructure. But what stands out in 2026 is how they've structured their ecosystem. Through Platform Digital and Service Fabric, digital realty is really focused on connecting data, not just hosting it. So in simple terms, your systems can connect across different locations, different platforms. For businesses operating across multiple markets or planning to expand internationally, that kind of consistency becomes extremely valuable. So if you need strong connections, Equinix stands out. But if you're thinking long-term growth, digital realty is where it shifts. Now, at number 3, we have NTT Global Data Centers, and this is a provider that tends to stand out more when you start looking at performance requirements, especially around high-density workloads. NTT has a strong presence across North America, Europe, and Asia Pacific, and they've built their reputation around engineering and infrastructure capability. What that means in practice is you're getting support for more demanding setups with better cooling and environments that can handle heavier workloads. And that's becoming more important, because as businesses start working with more data and more complex systems, not every facility is really set up to handle that kind of demand efficiently. If you're not just looking for somewhere to place your servers and you need a data center that can handle heavier, more demanding workloads, NTT Limited becomes a very solid option to consider. Number 4 is QTS. And this is where you start to see how things are changing in the market, especially with AI and larger demand coming into play. Now, when it comes to QTS Realty Trust, their whole approach is built around large-scale data center campuses. And at first, that might not sound like a big difference, but it actually matters more than it used to. Because a lot of businesses today aren't just looking for a bit of space anymore. They're thinking about growth, more usage, and what they might need a few years down the line. And that's really where QTS focuses. They're set up to provide more space, more power, and the ability to expand when you need it. They also offer a mix of services, so you're not limited to just one type of setup. So if your business is thinking ahead, QTS is built around that kind of long-term growth. And finally, at number 5, we have Telehouse. Now, when you look at Telehouse, it's been around for a long time, but it's still very relevant today, mainly because of one thing, and that's connectivity. Their data centers are based in major locations like London, Tokyo, Paris, Frankfurt, and New York, and they're set up in a way that gives you flexibility. So you're not tied into just one network. You can choose between different providers and connect to multiple options from the same place. For a lot of businesses, that makes a big difference, especially if reliability and flexibility are important to how you operate. So even though Telehouse might not be the biggest in terms of scale, it really stands out when connectivity is the main priority. So when you step back and look at the market as a whole, a pattern starts to emerge. If you're choosing a colocation provider, the key is not to look at this as a simple comparison. It really comes down to how your business operates, where your users are located, how your applications perform, how much you expect to grow, and how critical connectivity is to your day-to-day operations. Because the right data center doesn't just support your business, it removes limitations. And if you're still figuring out which direction makes the most sense, that's exactly where we can help. At Data Center Hunter, we help businesses compare colocation options, understand the differences, and find the right fit based on real requirements, not just specifications on paper. Before we wrap up, let me ask you this. When you're choosing a colocation provider, what matters most to you? Is it performance, scalability, or flexibility? Drop your answer in the comments below. Your feedback really helps us understand what to cover next, so we can keep creating content that's genuinely useful for you. Again, if you haven't done so already, please be sure to hit that subscribe button to help us get this information to as many viewers like you as possible. Also, if you found the video helpful or insightful, hit that like button right now and feel free to let us know your opinion about today's topic in the comments below. This is Nick Prosser with Data Center Hunter, and I'll see you again in the next video.